I have Bryce Perry with me from Community Development. Welcome, Bryce. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks. Good to be here.
All right. So, Herndon 2050, what is that?
Herndon 2050 is going to be the town's new comprehensive plan. It's the guidebook for the town that identifies town priorities. It identifies the goals and objectives associated with achieving those priorities. And then it establishes all the strategies and all the actions that need to occur to be able to then have an implemented and deployed plan to, again, meet all of those identified priorities. It will cover all components of the Herndon community. So from general land use to cultural and natural resource management, from recreation to energy use. That's just a small sampling of what it would include.
We're not talking some superficial adjustment here. This is really major thinking that's going into who are we, how do we operate as a town, where do we want to be as a town?
That's right. Yeah, it is really a reimagining and a revisioning of from the ground up of where we want the town to be, where we want to take the town.
Last term, I really pushed that as we embarked on this, that we add other things that maybe you don't always find in comprehensive plans of municipalities. So really felt like we couldn't do it in isolation. We need to look at economic development and have a plan for that. We needed a sustainability plan, looking at the environment and other things. So can you tell us a little bit more about what we're doing to support these additional phases and inputs into the overall plan?
What's a little bit unique about what we're doing here with our new comprehensive plan, Herndon 2050, is we are sort of doing it in concert with a new market study and economic development strategy for the town. And we feel like it's a very strong benefit to be able to do these two things together as companions, because they will inform each other as we go. With the economic side of it, we really do want to dig deep into what the economic conditions are for the town, what the challenges are, what the opportunities are, what the trends are, and it really needs to be data driven. We want to make sure that what we're looking at is going to give us a full picture, the full story of what the health of the local economy is and how the local economy really works.
We do have a planning commission, and the planning commission has a role to play here, and that's comprised of members of the community that are appointed by the council to serve there, and they're trained in what is required of a planning official.
The planning commission does act as essentially the steering committee for its development, and that is what we're doing here.
So there's a lot of objective or benchmark data out, that studies and other things have done around economics and zoning and all the best practices or things to learn not to do in other communities. All of these things exist, but it seems like if it's impacting our lives, right, as residents, we should have a say. And I know that the Planning Commission is a representation of the community, but I'm sure that we're going to be doing other things to get community input. Can you talk about that community input aspect?
Herndon 2050, above all else, will be a public-driven process. All property owners in town, all business owners in town, people who work in town, even people who just visit town, whether it's to play or pray or eat or shop, to some degree, they're all stakeholders. These are all valuable voices. And we need to be able to reach as many corners of the community as possible, because the more people we reach, the more successful and effective this plan will be.
So the whole thing really kicks off next year, early in the year, springtime, 2026, right? Where we will really begin in earnest with.
From a public point of view, yes, that is true. The consultants have been hired, and we've already been meeting with them, and they are already doing their due diligence on research for the town. And there will be project management type level things will be ongoing over the next couple months. The public engagement plan, a public project management plan, and a few other items. But yeah, that first round of true public engagement with a formal kickoff, where they come out to the public, they meet with a number of people, they introduce themselves, that will be occurring first quarter next year.
Okay, great. And I do want to say this, like many of our other studies, are not just completely funded by taxpayer dollars. We actually actively, your teams work diligently to get grants, and so we've gotten grants to assist us with the comprehensive plan costs with these contractors as well.
Yes, that is true. A significant portion of the costs here for the project are coming from a federal grant that was awarded to the town.
So, um, the comprehensive plan is a living, breathing thing, right? So it continues, even though we do our best to plan out for the next 25 years, there are still both some more formal, intermediate stages that we look at it, but through planning commission, through community development, we're continually evolving as the ecosystem evolves. Is that correct?
So it is a living and breathing document, and it also needs to be that way. And it can also grow a little bit, as we go through additional master plan efforts or small area plan efforts or strategic plan efforts. Those all sort of kind of filter down below it as items that are guided from the comp plan. And so we go through those efforts, obviously, all the time. We don't wait 20 years or 25 years to do those.
And so to that point about the shifts and changes, just to make a point, and I'm going to simplify this a bit, but let's say if we weren't in the middle, the housing study and other things, and we weren't in the middle of comprehensive plan, and it was determined, say, this is an ideal location to put housing in, but it's zoned right now for commercial purposes or industrial purposes, and we want to change that. We can't just change the zoning. We go back to the comprehensive plan, make adjustments in comprehensive plan, and then from there flow zoning and site plans and other things all the way up through the actual build. So there are, again, there are these places, and when people, the community come and they think that something should happen like this, by law, we have a series of steps that may go all the way back to comprehensive plan.
You're right. Sometimes we will get a proposal that does not comply with our comprehensive plan. And so one of our first charges is to evaluate whether or not we want to amend the comprehensive plan. That's really where the town needs to ask itself the questions of how does this impact all other parts of the town, and what does this mean moving forward for the vision?
Great. Well, we have charged you with a very serious mission, and I can think of no better person to do it. I know that you're supported by an entire team and lots of volunteers and consultants, but thank you very much for talking to me today and to the community. I think it's really important.
Well, this has been great. I appreciate it. Any chance to get information out about this special project, I'm happy to do it.